The question I get asked the most on farm is, do you only work with organic farmers? No, we don't. We work with any farmer that has an interest in reducing their inputs, improving their soil health, increasing their biodiversity on farm.
With the prices of nitrogen going up, our yields were starting to plateau as well, so we needed to have a bit of a change, and changing our rotation to include spring cropping, which then included cover crops, which means we could bring sheep in, which we will see the organic matters go up and profits go up as well as trying to do good for the environment.
We can use the natural fertility within our soils, and any way we can to find a way of reducing input costs has got to be the driver behind farming systems.
I'd lie if I said I wasn't sceptical about it, and don't get me wrong, some things haven't worked, but some things have, and we can see an improvement in it. Like, we've actually seen a good response from the sheep to increase organic matters, so it's a bit of a learning curve.
Soil organic matter is the best measurement you've got on farm for the current health of your soil. It absolutely impacts everything else from underground upwards.
The regenerative practices that we've started to use have, for one, injected a whole new lease of energy into our approach to farming, changing things slightly and having quite a dramatic effect.
Having the integration of the sheep has been a massive help in reducing our chemical bill costs. I think with climate change we've got to be more prepared. We need to learn from our own mistakes and go forward. If we can get our soil structures right, improve that organic matter, then that will then make us more resilient to heat waves or wet weather or flooding or drought.
By having the system right, we can actually reduce the amount we're buying in whilst maintaining profitability. And that's the key to whatever we try and do. Farming has to be profitable.
The Soil Association helps farmers and growers both for technical advice for the in-house expertise, and also putting them in touch with other farmers and growers that are already doing similar practices to what they might be looking at.
The farming advisory team at the Soil Association are a combination of people like myself, who's a retired farmer, and we've got agronomists, we have people from other advisory sectors, and we all work to support farmers on an agroecological pathway of farming. The Soil Association has 75 years of giving advice in this sort of area. We're independent, and we are literally here as advisors.
We go about working with farmers by facilitating peer-to-peer learning, by organising farm walks, and by speaking at events. Farmers learn best via talking about their own experiences on their own farms to each other.
When you attend a Soil Association event, not only do you get great information, you get then to talk to other farmers. You can be quite isolated on a farm, but actually going to these events, you get the opportunity to chew the fat with other farmers and to find out what they're doing.
We'll look to the Soil Association for that exchange of knowledge and advice.
Our relationship with the Soil Association works like a partnership. Jerry and his team give us information and advice. I feel that Jerry also then gets on-ground information that he can pass on to other farmers from things that we are experimenting with or doing ourselves.
We are facing such uncertain times with both climate and on farm, and the system we've been using has just been like a sticking plaster. So fertilisers, pesticides have just been holding that system up. Now we need a system that actually is more in balance to actually make that farm resilient.
We are not each other's competitors. We actually should be working together, learning from each other and moving on a common path.
If you've got a healthy soil, you get healthy crops, you get productive crops, you get crops that yield.